Good, happy Tuesday morning, November 27, 2018. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin with your weather in the storm watch. Several inches of snow possible overnight in some areas of New Hampshire, and the rest of the areas will see just plain old rain. With more on that, let's go to meteorologist Mike Haddad with your weather forecast.
Thank you very much for joining us, Stormwatch 9. Weather on the web. Latest storm to move through brings a wintry mix to New Hampshire. It'll be snow for many, rain for some, and that wintry mix of rain going to snow, back to rain for others. Here is the latest storm on satellite imagery. You can clearly see it moving from south to north. Now, there is a back edge to all of this that will race through during the morning commute tomorrow, so much lighter precipitation late morning into the afternoon. But overnight tonight, temperatures are going to dip down as low as 30 in parts of the Great North Woods. On average, 30s for many, but warmest from Manchester to the coast. Very little, if any, snow accumulation expected from the Queen City south and southeast. To the north and west, though, it gets a little bit tricky, and you can see it played out on Futurecast. The coldest part of the storm will be very late this evening in through about 2, 3, 4 a.m. That's when any rain around Concord to about Hooksett into Peterborough goes over to some wet snow. And we could see an accumulation during that time before precipitation lets up during the morning commute and goes back over to rain, possibly as far north as Laconia. But north of that, all wet snow. That's where the snow tallies are going to be fairly impressive this time around. And then just a scattering of rain and snow showers left over during the late part of the day. The evening commute will be much, much better across New Hampshire, especially on any treated road and mostly south and east of the state capital. Snowfall tallies fairly impressive. It'll be a heavy wet snow, 6 to 12 inches, White Mountains, good part of the Great North Woods. Now keep in mind, the wind flow will be out of the northeast. So the favored shadowed areas in and around places like Lancaster only going to pick up about 2, 3, 4 inches of snow and then pick up a little bit more during the day tomorrow as the storm begins to pull away. Now that 6 to 12 inch band likely will extend through the northern and central lakes region, the Lake Sunapee area, and then right over southern parts of Sullivan County in the higher terrain in places like Washington. Then a narrow band of 3 to 6 just north of Concord into about Peterborough, and then just north of Rochester, and then to the south and east of that, 1 to 3 inches of snow after some evening rain. Rochester, all the way to Concord, right near Hooksett, and down to just east of Peterborough. And as you can clearly see, very little, if any, from the Queen City south through Nashua, Salem, over towards the coast, including all of the coastal plain. Now, the winds become quite a factor as well, beginning tonight into early tomorrow morning out of the east-northeast at 20 to as much as 40 miles per hour. So we could see a few scattered power outages. That will blow the snow around, although it'll be a heavy, wet, pasty snow, and certainly result in a windswept rain for southeastern parts of New Hampshire. What happens beyond this storm? Again, precipitation much lighter late morning and afternoon tomorrow. Breaks and flakes on Wednesday. Most of the snow showers in northern parts of New Hampshire. Bright and seasonably cool on Thursday and on Friday. A few mixed or snow showers early Saturday. That's along a warm front. That lifts to our north, and temperatures begin to rise. Low to mid 40s on Sunday, possibly upper 40s with a blend of sun and clouds on Monday.
Okay, and there you go on your weather forecast from meteorologist Mike Haddad. And now let's take a look at your traffic and see how your morning commute will be shaping up this morning. here's a look at your traffic this morning on the roadways. We're seeing a lot of green and yellow and red roadways, a lot of red and yellow all this whole section, and a couple of yellow roadways over here, a couple yellow and red over by the Merrimack and Nashua area, and then over here by Harrisville and Ware, a couple green and yellow and red, and tiny bit of red and yellow in the Epping and Exeter area, and then tiny bit in Rochester area, and a tiny bit in the Portsmouth area. Otherwise, your traffic is moving pretty good this morning for your morning commute. No major issues or accidents to report yet. If we do have any accidents or delays, we will bring it right to you on the Riley King Network. Now, let's go to your news. First up, Manchester police investigate possible abduction. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
All right, now on to breaking news out of Manchester. Police investigating the possible abduction of a man tonight. The report came in just before 8 at a Silver Street home. Police say the abducted man returned while officers were investigating. That man was treated for minor injuries. Anyone with information should call Manchester Police.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Communities prepare for several inches of snow in much of New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
As rain turned to snow, it started to pile up fast in Meredith. Plow drivers across the state are prepared for a long night.
12 plus hours easily to start.
Sean Cofield plows in Franconia, where they've already dealt with significant snowfall. He says they'll tackle commercial lots starting around midnight.
Snow is okay to deal with, ice not so much.
Others who live in the northern part of the state know to expect plowable snow even this early in the season.
Well, you live in the North Country, so you kind of take it the way that you get it. You know, that's the way that I look at it. You know, you wake up tomorrow morning, if it's snowing out, it's snowing. If it's not, it's not.
The heavy, wet snow causing poor visibility for drivers and sticking to the roads. Depending where you live, it could call for some serious shoveling by morning.
You're either shoveling snow or you're cutting grass. Either one. So there's no happy medium.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm like shoveling a whole lot.
While it's not great for driving, it's good money for those who plow and the local economy, even if everyone isn't a skier.
Good for the area and stuff, good for the ski areas, so I'm glad to see it for them.
I skied once, that was the last time I skied. Found out maple trees are hard.
Skiing's not for everybody, and standing out in the snow isn't for everybody, but being out here tonight, certainly for those plow drivers, is a great night for them. We actually just had a plow go by. We've been seeing them go by all night. The roads here are down to pavement, and even if it's just rain where you are, maybe just a coating, just look out for some of those possible slick spots either tonight and tomorrow while you're out driving around. We're live in Meredith tonight. Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Belknap community rallying for couple displaced by fire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
On Thanksgiving Eve, the 5-alarm fire at Laren Farm in Belmont drew the attention of everyone nearby.
And I looked out my sliding glass window, and the whole sky was just gleaming orange, bright orange.
Rhiannon Fee rushed over along with friends and other neighbors.
And we were just out all night with them trying to save as many animals as we could.
The people who lived here, the Carpenters, got out safely, but their house and barn are destroyed. Fee says it's more than 200 years old.
You know, they're 77 and 81, and to lose everything that you've ever had, it's just totally heartbreaking.
The Carpenters also lost a dog, cat, and about a dozen goats. 3 police officers suffered smoke inhalation trying to save them.
It really is a tragic event that happened to such great people. It was a shock.
But they were able to save a goose, ducks, some of the cats and dogs. They've either been rehomed or are with the Carpenters. And one family took in their mule, named Sunshine, plus several chickens. The Carpenters are now trying to slowly get back on their feet. With these animals safe and a GoFundMe page set up for them, their community is helping in every way possible.
We're just all trying to pull together as much as we can and have fun out of it and raise as many funds as we can for them, because they're just really great people.
And if you'd like to help the Carpenters out, you can visit this story on our website at WMUR.com. There you'll find a link to a fundraiser for them. In Belmont, Mike Cronin, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And let's take a look at your European market and see how your European market is doing this morning. And here's a look at the European market this morning. Everything is in the red. European markets open mixed aimed political concerns. European stocks slipped on Tuesday morning as investors monitored a number of political events, including Vertex and Attili budget plans. Special counsel says former Trump campaign chairman broke corporate deal. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Your job, your dreams, your problems. But at the Y, we create opportunities for everyone, no matter who you are or where you're from. For a better us, donate to your local Y today.
President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort flipping and now tonight cooperating with Robert Mueller, entering into a plea deal with the special counsel, pleading guilty to 2 counts of conspiracy to avoid his upcoming trial. In court today, Manafort promised to cooperate, quote, fully and truly. Court documents adding that cooperation would be on, quote, any and all matters. So what could this mean for President Trump? Here's ABC's Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas.
He was the picture of confidence, the campaign chairman at Donald Trump's side at the Republican National Convention. But today in court, Paul Manafort appeared ashen, softly pleading guilty to multiple felonies. At times, his voice barely audible.
It's a tough day for Mr. Manafort, but he's accepted responsibility.
He was already facing up to a decade in prison after convictions on bank and tax fraud. He's now agreed to cooperate with special counsel Robert Mueller.
He's agreeing to cooperate, and do you expect that he will do so fully and thoroughly? We do. Thank you.
In court, Manafort pledged to cooperate fully and truly. Prosecutors described a broad cooperation agreement covering any and all matters the government deems relevant. That will likely include the now infamous Trump Tower meeting, Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Manafort sitting down with a Kremlin-connected attorney they were told had dirt on Hillary Clinton. Manafort is the 5th member of Trump's campaign team to plead guilty in recent months. Just weeks ago, it was the president's former personal attorney, turning on Trump.
You know, they make up stories. People make up stories. This whole thing about flipping, they call it, it almost ought to be outlawed. It's not fair.
Pierre Thomas joins us live tonight from Washington. And Pierre, how is the president's team now responding to news that Paul Manafort is now cooperating with the special counsel?
David, we have a statement from Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani. He says, quote, "Once again, an investigation has concluded with a plea having nothing to do with President Trump or the Trump campaign. The reason? The president did nothing wrong, and Paul Manafort will tell the truth."
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.